The first warning was not a siren. It was silence. On the command deck of the Imperial cruiser Iron Decree, every screen went dark at the same time. The steady hum of the engines dipped, like a giant beast holding its breath. Captain RHEL Kavos heard only his own pulse. Then the stars outside the forward glass bent. Space folded, slow and smooth, as if an unseen hand pulled a black curtain aside. A ship slid out of that fold. No flash, no shockwave, no heat, bloom. Just a shape that was already there, already real. It was huge, it was black, and on its hull, worn like old paint, sat a mark every sealed archive said should never be seen again. A human crest. RHEL's throat tightened. His scales prickled under his collar. Humans were a rumor. Humans were a forbidden lesson. Humans were supposed to be gone. Across the bridge, a sensor tech whispered, "That's impossible." The ship did not answer. It did not run. It did not fire. It only drifted closer, slow as a judge walking to the bench. Then one line of text appeared on the main display. Written in perfect Imperial trade code, "You have 9 minutes to speak." RHEL felt the room turn cold. The Galactic Empire had ruled for 3,000 cycles. RHEL forced his claws to relax. "Shields up," he ordered. "Weapons on standby. No firing unless I say." The crew moved fast, but fear rode every motion. The Empire was used to fear in others. It took worlds with fleets and laws. It erased names from records. It broke rebellions with simple math and heavy fire. RHEL had lived inside that machine since he was a hatchling, but the ship outside did not fit any rule. He knew. Its hull looked like one carved piece. No bright panels, no obvious guns. Thin lines shimmered along it, like the edge of a blade catching light. And under the sensor readings, there was something else. A low vibration, steady, deep. It was not engine noise. It felt like a heartbeat. Leaned to his science lead. "Commander Vix, Iron Knoll, what is it made of?" Vexer's eyes stayed on the scan. "Not our alloys, not our ceramics, not our shield tech." RHEL stared. "Then what?" Vexer swallowed. "It matches the Dragon Cage reports." The words hit hard. The Dragon Cages were not on any public map. They were deep projects, wrapped in lies. Officers heard rumors that the Empire had captured something ancient and alive, something that could drink a star's light and turn it into power. They called it a dragon because old stories needed an old word. RHEL had never seen one. He never wanted to. The human ship drifted closer. The timer began to count down. 8:12, 8:11, 8:10. RHEL opened a secure channel to Sector Command. A face appeared. "High Admiral Soren Till." The Admiral's voice was flat. "Captain RHEL, hold position. Identify the vessel. Do not allow it into inner lanes." RHEL kept his tone careful. "With respect, High Admiral, records say humans are extinct." The Admiral did not blink. "Records say what we need them to say." A pause. Then the Admiral added, "Low, that ship must not reach the cage levels." RHEL's stomach tightened. So it was true. Humans were not just a rumor. The cage was real. The channel cut. RHEL looked back at the timer. 7:30 *. The bridge speakers came alive. Not with static, with a breath. Deep, rolling, heavy like wind in a cavern. It rose and fell once. The sound was not loud, but it sat in bones. Then, a voice followed, clear and plain. "This is human warship Dawn Spear." The words were in perfect Imperial trade. "You have taken what does not belong to you. You have 7 minutes to choose. Open a channel, one captain to one captain." RHEL's comm officer looked at him. "Captain." RHEL made his choice fast. If he stayed silent, he learned nothing. If he spoke, he might buy time. "Open it," RHEL said. The hollow shimmered. A human appeared. She was smaller than any Imperial officer. Pale skin, dark hair pulled tight. A simple uniform with no shine. Her eyes were steady and tired, like someone who had watched fires for too long and learned not to blink. "I am Captain Maya Creed," she said. "State your name and ship." "Captain RHEL Kavos, Imperial Cruiser Iron Decree." Maya nodded once, like she already knew. Behind her the human bridge was dim. The crew moved in silence. And behind her chair the air shimmered, as if something unseen was breathing. RHEL kept his voice firm. "You are in restricted space. State your purpose." Maya's gaze did not change. "We came for the dragon you chained." RHEL's mouth went dry. The Empire has no such creature. Maya's eyes narrowed a fraction. Do not lie. Your science officer already felt its song. RHEL's blood went cold. How could you know that? Maya continued, calm as stone. We know where you keep it. We know you use its pain to power your gates. We know it is dying. RHEL forced out a question. If you are human, why do you care? Maya's voice softened, but only a little, because it saved us, because it trusted us, because we do not chain what we fear. She leaned closer to the Hala. You have 5 minutes. We will cut our way to the dragon cage. We will take the young one. We will leave RHEL's claws dug into his chair. And if we resist, Maya answered like she was reading a weather report, then you will learn what a human warship is. The channel ended. The timer kept falling. 503, 502, 501, asterisk. The fleet net went dead. RHEL tried command again. No answer. He tried the Admiral. Nothing. Only local comms still worked. The human ship had not fired a single shot. Yet the Empire's voice had been cut clean, like a throat closed by a careful hand. The weapons officer swore. Target lock keeps failing. Vexer stared at his readout. Our shield code is changing on its own. Captain, something is rewriting it. Ra looked at the dark ship outside. It drank starlight like oil drinks rain. A panel opened on its side. Something drifted out, a thin spear of light, moving with no visible drive. It stopped near Iron Decree, pointed at the hull, and waited. It did not attack. It offered itself like a key. The probe pulsed once. Every bridge light went out. Then every screen lit again, showing a single image. A golden eye, huge, calm, watching. Straight through the ship a voice touched RHEL's mind. Not through speakers, not through comms. It was feeling first. Heat, sorrow, patience. Then words formed inside his skull. I've been awake for too long. Raoul's breath caught. Around him, crew members gasped, grabbed their heads, or stared into nothing. The voice continued, gentle as a tide. Do not fear me, little captain. Raoul whispered. Who are you? The answer came like warm smoke. I am Oyuraxes. I am Draken. I am friend of humans. Raoul's chest tightened. The cage, he breathed. Is it true? Oyuraxes replied with sadness that stung like salt. The one you chained is my blood. My child. Raoul felt shame rise in his throat. He wanted to say he did not know. He wanted to say he only followed orders. But the dragon spoke again, and the words cut deeper. You knew enough to hide at the bridge lights. Returned. Nothing looked broken. Yet the crew was changed. They had heard truth without a filter. Asterisk. Maya appeared on RHEL's private screen. Captain Raoul, she said. You still have a choice. Raoul's voice was rough. If I stand down, my crew lives. Yes, Maya said. No one dies today unless they choose it. RHEL looked at his officers. He saw fear. He saw doubt. He saw the slow crack in a lifetime of obedience. He made the hardest order of his life, staying down. He told his crew, weapons safe, open access to Deck 6. The chief of security, Major Drax, stepped forward. His voice shook with anger. Captain, that order is treason, he said. The Emperor will flay us. The cage is classified. We cannot open it. Raoul met his eyes. I know what the Emperor will do, Raoul said. I also know what we already did. Drax's claws hovered near his sidearm. Raoul did not raise his own weapon. He kept his hands open, slow, visible. We can keep obeying and pretend this is normal, Raoul said. Or we can stop, right now, and still be alive tomorrow. Drax looked at the screens, at the human ship, at the timer. Then he lowered his hand. Open Deck 6, he said. Voice broke it. Some stared at RHEL like he was mad, but no one argued, because the golden eye had looked through them too. Asterisk on the security feeds. The dragon cage seal opened, not with an explosion, with a side dot inside. Hard light rings and thick cables formed a prison around a smaller dragon. Its glow was weak. Its coils were tight, like it was trying to take up less space. It lifted its head when the door opened. Its eyes were dull with fear. Human soldiers entered first. No shouting, no hey. They moved like people walking into a hospital room. Then Oyuraxes drifted in, a long coil of light and shadow, eyes like suns seen through deep water. The big dragon moved slowly, carefully, like a parent approaching a wounded child. It touched its forehead to the small dragon's forehead. Light pulsed between them. The small dragon's glow brightened. The security teams lowered their weapons without being told. Some of them cried. RHEL watched from the bridge and felt his own eyes sting. He did not understand the feeling, but he knew it was real. It was shame and relief. And the first clean breath after a long lie. The Empire reacted, the only way it knew. It called for a wall of ships within hours. Battle groups jumped in around Dawnspear. Hundreds of hulls formed a ring of guns and shields. The Emperor's voice thundered through open channels, demanding surrender. RHEL watched a fleet arrive and felt the old Empire reflex. Safety in numbers. Then Dawnspear moved. It did not burn engines. It shifted position as if space itself made room. The Imperial ring fired beams and shells filled the void. None were them hit. Not because Dawnspear dodged, but because the shots bent away, as if they refused to touch it. Two dragons coiled around the human ship like living crowns. They opened their mouths. No flame, no plasma. A wave rolled out, visible only as a soft shimmer. Every Imperial ship went dark, not destroyed, not torn apart, just asleep. One by one, the ring of the Empire stopped moving, stopped firing, stopped speaking. Dawnspear passed through them like a whisper. RHEL realized Maya had kept her promise again. No deaths, only helplessness. The Empire had been disarmed. In moments, Dawnspear went straight to the capital. A broadcast opened on every screen, on every world. Maya stood alone in a wide chamber. Behind her, Oyuraxes drifted, filling the space with quiet light. The smaller dragon floated close, no longer dim, no longer alone. The Emperor appeared on the other side of the link, wrapped in golden guards. Human, the Emperor said, you bring a beast into my throne space and call it justice. Maya did not bow. You stole a child, she said. We came to take it back. The Emperor laughed. You cannot take what the Empire owns. Oyuraxes turned its golden eye toward the camera across the Empire. Minds filled with flashes, hidden rooms, chains of light, hands on levers. A young dragon pressed into a cage, trying to disappear. People felt its hunger, its fear, its long waiting. The Emperor's face went pale. Maya's voice stayed simple. Open every cage, she said. Cut every chain. End your raids, or we end your power. A guard captain shouted. Fire the star lance. Outside the palace station, a Tau weapon rotated. Light gathered at its tip. RHEL watched from his ship. Helpless Maya did not move. Oyuraxes inhaled. Space pulled inward. The star lance fired. A white beam rushed toward Dawnspear. Oyuraxes opened its mouth. The beam poured into the dragon and vanished. Swallowed clean, Oyuraxes exhaled a thin line of gold into empty space, where it faded like sunrise. The star lance went dark. Its core melted silent. The Emperor stared at his dead weapon like a man waking from a dream. Maya spoke softly, almost kind. We are not here to rule you, she said. We are here to end cages. The treaty was signed with shaking hands. The Emperor ordered the dragon cages opened across the Empire. He ordered slave chains cut. He ordered raids stopped. Ships that had carried fear now carried medicine and food. Some worlds cheered. Some worlds raged. Some officers swore revenge in secret. Humans did not celebrate. They worked. They moved freed beings to safe routes. They repaired broken life support. They stayed calm through hate and chaos, as if they had trained for this for a long time. Captain RHEL Kavos watched from the edge of it all. He expected punishment. Maya gave none. She met him once more in a docking bay. The smaller dragon rested there, brighter now, coiled around a warm vent like a cat by a fire. You chose, Maya said. RHEL lowered his head. Too late. Not late, Maya replied. Just costly. RHEL looked at the dragons. What? That happens now. Maya's eyes moved to the stars beyond the bay doors. Now we rebuild, she said, and we watch. Some empires do not die in one day. They die in choices, made again and again. RHEL's voice was quiet. And if the Empire tries to chain another dragon, my stare hardened. Then the next human ship will not come with 9 minutes, she said. She turned to leave, then paused. Hold on to the fear you felt today, she added. Not to break you, to remind you what power feels like when it is pointed at you. RHEL stood alone as she walked away. Outside, Dawnspear drifted into the stars, dark and quiet, with 2 dragons coiled around it like living night and living dawn. For the first time, the Empire's space did not feel owned. It felt watched. It felt free. And somewhere in the void, The low heartbeat faded, not into silence, but into a promise. Humans had returned, not to conquer, to end cages, to remind the galaxy that impossible things can arrive without warning, and when they do, even an empire can freeze in fear.